This video here is how to stand by your man in prison or jail. How to stand by your man in prison. So, just want to go over a few things that if you got a dude in prison, you want to stand by him, things that you can do to make it easier for him. We're going to cover a few things for you ladies. So, and first, I'll say this: a lot of dudes I've been in the cells listening to guys talk, and a lot of them are not good dudes. They really don't care about y'all. But if you have one of the few that is a good dude, and you want to stand by him, and give you some tips, of how to help somebody that's in prison. So one, phones. Phones are very important. So a lot of prisons different on how you can access the phone, but most facilities have phones where you can go through Securus or JPay or whatever. So you put money on your end, you put like a prepaid account, and then they're able to call you. Dudes like to be able to call, like we like to be able to call when we in there, hear your voice. That does a lot, to help somebody that's in prison. Guys love for you to actually pick up. When you don't pick up, they might go to one. They're like, "What's she doing out there? What?" So, suggesting to you at least try and pick up, even if you're busy. Hey, just pick up and say, "Hey, give me a call back in an hour. I'm at the house," but at least pick up and answer if you can. Again, that does a lot for people. Second, cell phones. Cell phones are expensive in prison, but if you can afford to get your guy a cell phone, that is like major. Like if you got a cell phone, you like doing big things in prison. So, and then it allows you to have contact. He'll be able to contact you on a regular basis. Y'all can send pictures back and forth, videos, talk through the night. So that is really like, that's probably the biggest thing if you can do that. Cell phones in prison, they are illegal. Of course, you're not supposed to have them, but they do sell them in there. Depending on the facility, I've seen them as low as $400 or $500, all the way up to like $1,500 for a little basic cell phone in prison, just depending on how hard it is to get there, what facility you're at, stuff like that. So that's the phone stuff. Next, mail. Mail is very important. We love to receive mail. Mail is almost like um, it's almost like a award show or something. So the officer comes into the dorm, starts calling names. Everybody waiting to see who get mail. Hope you get mail. So mail is huge. If you can just drop your guy a few lines, as much as you can, he will really appreciate that. And pictures, of course, being able to send pictures in the mail. That's huge when you are in prison and getting that type of stuff. So visitation is also one of the highest things in prison. It's not like in jail. A lot of times it's done over like the video phone thing, so you can't really touch them and see them. It's just over the video, over the phone, or over the little video screen. In prison, you can actually come and like literally sit right next to your dude for hours. So y'all can talk, y'all can eat, again, y'all can have some type of physical contact. So that is great. Visitation is great. And again, when you get to a prison facility, most of the time it's actual physical contact visitation. Some states do allow you to have sex, what they call conjugal visits. Mississippi is one of them. Florida is not. If your guy's going to be in for a long time, you may look into getting I think it's called a interstate compact, and that's where they'll transfer you. Like if you're in prison in Florida, they transfer you to Mississippi, you do your time there. So those are kind of difficult to get, but they can be done. You can work on them. Yeah, so the conjugal visit, like Mississippi, you can come like for the weekend. They give you like a room, and you can actually have sex with your husband. You have to be married. This is not for boyfriend girlfriends, but that's for married couples. So I went over visitation. We did mail. We did phones. Trying to think what else to cover.
There's a question.
Oh, what we got here,
Okay,
Miss
so
RJ.
there's a question here that was asking when the men come back from the conjugal visits, what is the procedure that they have to go through as far as like do they do a cavity check and do you know anything that happens afterwards?
Okay, so most of the time they would not do any type of cavity check unless they've gotten some type of tip that something being smuggled in. So, and again, each state is different, but so most of the time you would not have to worry about that though, unless they've gotten some tip. But yeah, anytime you come from conjugal visits or just from regular visitation, physical visitation, yeah, they do strip search you. So they're gonna strip search you, just have you strip, maybe turn around, maybe do this little silly squat and cough type thing. But as far as a cavity search, that's beyond the scope. Like that would have to that would be really rare to get some type of a cavity search done. So, and women do be careful. Drugs are very a lot of dudes selling drugs, and then they try to get their girls to bring them in through visitation. If your dude is asking you that, unless you just in the street like that as a chick, and because that if you get caught with that, that's a second degree felony, and like you could possibly go to prison yourself for that. Like they're pretty serious about that. So if you like work, a woman, and you're a nurse or you got a career, and like your guy shouldn't really even be asking you to do that unless that's something you really want to do, because that is very risky. Like I would not ask my girl to do that, unless I was just dealing with a straight street girl that's already out there and already. So, because again, that is, you can really get messed up with that. So, any other questions we had, Ms. RJ?
Yes, we got one from New York. They said, how do you go about getting phones? Is there somebody in the jail who sells them, or how do you go about finding out? Somebody approach you, you find somebody else who got one?
So your dude probably will know. It will be what they call the compound. So that's called like the prison compound. So on the compound there'll be certain guys that's hooked up or linked in with that, and it won't be hard to find somebody who is selling phones. The big thing is if you have the money. If you have the money to pay for it, you will be able to 9 times out of 10 buy a little cell phone and be able to use that. Also,
And I'm sorry, the extra part of that, he said, he said that do they when they put the money, I guess, on the books, she wants to know how much of that do they take out so they know how much to put in or however, and then do you write it in a letter, or should they not write it in a letter? So they won't be told by the guards, or because since they proofread letters and things.
so putting money on your books, and this is going to be for buying like canteen items. So inmates can buy stuff like coffee, ramen noodle soups, chips, sodas, stuff like that. Again, it varies depending on the facility, but that's how you when you do that, that'll give them money to be able to do that. They can buy paper, pencils, shoes, some type of sports shorts, sometimes also all type of stuff that they can buy, and that's done by putting money on what they call their books or their account. Different states have, like, some of them use JPay, some use Securus. It's just all different of how you put the money on that book. Some you can do it right from your phone. Some you may have to send a money order to a specific place. As far as what they charge, they usually the fees are kind of high. Like for $50 here in Florida, they're going to charge you about $8 to put $50 on an inmate book. So that varies state to state. Now, if you're talking about trying, like, you want to get your guy a cell phone that's in there, that's different. You can't send the money to the books, because the guy in prison that's going to want the cell phone, he don't want it in no soups and stuff. A lot of times he's going to want cash, or he's going to tell you, hey, he'll say your guy's in prison, and he'll tell your guy, hey, call your girl and have her cash app some money to here, or Western Union some money to his people in the street, because they don't want no soups and canteen and coffee for no $100 cell phone, $300 or $400 cell phone. So they would have you send that money somewhere else. So, but again, your guy, when he'll get in there, he'll get used to it, and he'll be able to tell you, hey, this is what it's going to cost, this is how it would need to be sent, and stuff like that. So I think we covered, I think we covered just about everything in general. Ladies, like I say, if you got a good man, and I'm not saying like a lot of dudes in prison are just not good dudes, but if you do have a good man, and you'll know if when he was out in the street, was he, there for, he was doing his thing when you out here, and you standing by when he's gone. I congratulate that, I acknowledge that, and I really think that is a stand-up chick who does that. And again, I'm telling these tips for from women who have a good dude. So also, you do, well, like a good dude, a guy that wants to help out, he will start trying to do some type of hustle in there. Like I used to sell weed, and they're selling weed. You can make money. He can send, have some sent out to you, and even if he's sending, say, $200 or $300 a week, he's able to have cash after you from what he's doing in there. That helps. That's like $300 a week. That's like $1,200 a month. Hey, that could be your car payment, your insurance, and it's gonna make him feel good because he's able to still do something to help out you or the family. You know what I mean? So it is risky. Just be prepared about that. So if anybody have any, put this up on YouTube. If anybody has any comments, just or questions, put them in the comments and I will try and answer them. I've been in several different facilities in Florida, Mississippi. I've got partners in different facilities, so I have a lot of information when it comes to most facilities. So again, put your question down in the comments and I will try and respond to it. So that's going to do it for this video here. If you please hit that thumbs up, please subscribe so this video is pushed out to more like-minded people that this may help. And also hit that bell notification so you'll know when I release my next video. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in and we'll catch you on the next one.